They thought they had him cornered this time. The radical opposition spent months crafting what they called their foolproof strategy to finally take down Donald Trump. Every detail planned, every angle covered, every attack coordinated. But they forgot one critical thing. They were dealing with a master tactician who never fights on his opponent's terms. What happened next wasn't just a counter move, it was complete and total domination. The setting was the grand ballroom of Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach, Florida. Golden chandeliers hung from vaulted ceilings. American flags lined the stage. Outside, palm trees swayed in the warm evening breeze. Inside, the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. Trump enters through the double doors. Every head turns. The crowd, supporters, donors, conservative leaders, rises to their feet. The applause thunders through the room like rolling thunder before a storm. Flashbulbs pop, cameras whir. Every smartphone in the room captures the moment. He walks with that unmistakable stride, confident, powerful, unhurried, his navy suit perfectly tailored, red tie cutting a bold line down his chest, that signature expression, part smile, part smirk playing across his face. He knows something they don't. The radical opposition had just launched their coordinated attack that morning. Every major network carried their narrative. Every left-wing pundit repeated their talking points. Social media exploded with their manufactured outrage. They believed this was the moment, the knockout punch, the final chapter. But Trump stands at that podium radiating absolute calm. No panic, no concern, no fear whatsoever. Behind him, advisors exchange knowing glances. They've seen this before. They know what's coming. The opposition doesn't. The room settles into silence. Trump adjusts the microphone, looks out across the sea of faces, and begins to speak. His voice carries that familiar cadence, measured, deliberate, commanding. This isn't just a response. This is theater, high-stakes political warfare disguised as a press conference. Outside these walls, the radical left celebrates prematurely. Inside, history is about to be made. For 6 months, they planned this attack. Democratic strategists huddled in Washington conference rooms, mapping every detail. Opposition research teams compiled folders 3 inches thick. Media allies coordinated their coverage down to the minute. Liberal donors funded the entire operation with millions of dollars. They called it Operation Checkmate. The strategy? Simultaneous attacks from multiple angles. Hit Trump's business dealings. Question his political endorsements. Resurrect old controversies with fresh spin. Coordinate testimonies. Leak documents. Flood the zone with accusations so overwhelming that even his supporters would question their loyalty. CNN prepared special segments. MSNBC cleared primetime blocks. The New York Times drafted their front-page headline days in advance. Washington Post columnists pre-wrote their victory lap op-eds. Senate Democrats scheduled emergency hearings. House members prepared impeachment articles. Again, legal analysts appeared on morning shows explaining why this time is different. Political opponents from both parties whispered that Trump's empire was finally crumbling. The Vegas odds shifted. Betting markets gave Trump's 2024 chances their lowest probability in months. Political pundits declared his comeback tour effectively over. Social media erupted with hashtags trending worldwide. Search Trump finished. A checkmate MAGA. Their game over. Biden's team leaked internal polling showing Trump's support collapsing. Republican establishment figures anonymously told reporters they were relieved the Trump era might finally end. Moderate conservatives penned essays about moving beyond divisiveness. Every major newspaper editorial board published identical opinions. Trump's political career faced its final sunset. They had him surrounded, every exit blocked, every angle covered, every contingency planned, or so they thought. So, what they failed to understand, what they always fail to understand, is that Donald Trump doesn't play defense. He doesn't retreat. He doesn't surrender ground and hope for mercy. He counterattacks with overwhelming force. He turns their weapons against them. He transforms their coordinated assault into his greatest victory. The trap wasn't closing around Trump. They had walked into his. Trump reaches into his jacket pocket. The room holds its breath. He pulls out a single folded document, plain white paper, nothing fancy, nothing dramatic, just information, pure, devastating, irrefutable. Ladies and gentlemen, he begins, his voice carrying across the silent ballroom. The radical left launched their attack this morning. They coordinated, they prepared, they spent millions, and they made one fatal mistake. He unfolds the document slowly, deliberately. They assumed I wasn't 10 steps ahead. The paper reveals bank records, transfer receipts, communication logs, all legally obtained, all perfectly documented, all completely damning for the opposition. The documents expose the entire operation, every dollar traced, every coordination revealed, every anonymous source identified, every leaked document shown to be fabricated or manipulated, every bombshell revelation proven to be recycled opposition research from 2016. But Trump doesn't stop there. He reveals the second document, email chains between Democratic operatives and mainstream media journalists, not anonymous sources, not allegations, actual emails with names, with dates, with direct quotes showing explicit coordination to craft narratives, time releases, and maximize damage. The journalists in the room shift uncomfortably. Some avoid eye contact. They know colleagues, maybe even themselves, appear in those communications. Third document, financial records showing the funding sources, foreign interests, dark money groups, shell corporations, all funneling money into what they claim was grassroots opposition, all illegal, all traceable, all now exposed. Trump's voice rises, not shouting, not angry, just powerful. They wanted to play games. They wanted to destroy me with lies, so I'm going to destroy them with truth. Fourth document, sworn affidavits from insiders who participated in the operation, people with guilty consciences, people who kept records, people willing to testify under oath about the conspiracy. The coordinated attack isn't just exposed, it's completely dismantled, every thread pulled, every lie revealed, every participant named. But the masterful move, the brilliantly devastating counterstrike, comes next. Trump announces he's already filed formal complaints with the FEC, with the DOJ, with state attorney generals in 6 states, all filed yesterday before the opposition attack even launched. He knew it was coming. He let them commit. He gathered evidence, and he sprung the trap at the precise moment of maximum impact. They thought they were attacking me, Trump says, that famous smirk spreading across his face. They were actually providing evidence for their own prosecution. The ballroom erupts. Supporters leap to their feet. Applause crashes like ocean waves against rocks. Chants of USA, USA shake the chandeliers. Phones capture every angle. This moment will trend worldwide within minutes. But outside that ballroom, across America, in newsrooms and political offices, absolute panic detonates. CNN cuts to breaking news. The anchor's face shows barely concealed shock. They weren't prepared for this. Their carefully scripted programming just became obsolete. Producers scream into earpieces. Graphics departments scramble. How do they spin this? MSNBC goes to commercial. Emergency meetings convene. Do they acknowledge the documents? Do they question their authenticity? Do they ignore the story entirely? Every option carries massive risk. In Washington, Democratic offices descend into chaos. Staffers run between rooms. Phone lines light up like Christmas trees. Legal teams assemble. Crisis management consultants get emergency calls. How did Trump get those documents? Who leaked the strategy? Who's going to take the fall? Senate Democrats who scheduled those emergency hearings, suddenly unavailable for comment. House members who prepared impeachment articles. Their offices refer all calls to party leadership. Party leadership in closed-door meetings unreachable. Republican establishment figures who whispered about moving past Trump, deleting tweets, retracting statements, suddenly remembering their loyalty. Twitter explodes, not with Trump finished, with Trump victory. Operation Backfire. D'accord 4D chess. The hashtags flip in real time. Trending algorithms can't keep up. The narrative doesn't just shift, it completely reverses. Betting markets swing wildly. Trump's 2024 odds skyrocket. Political analysts scramble to revise their predictions. The experts who declared his career over this morning, now explaining why this changes everything. Independent journalists dive into the documents Trump released. They're authentic, they're verified, they're worse than Trump's initial description. More names, more coordination, more corruption. Each revelation spawns 10 more stories. The opposition's 6-month strategy destroyed in 6 minutes. Their coordinated attack turned into coordinated suicide. Their checkmate moment just became their resignation from the game. Legal experts appear on cable news explaining the criminal exposure, campaign finance violations, conspiracy charges, RICO predicates. This isn't political embarrassment. This is potential prison time. And Trump stands at that podium, basking in the chaos he orchestrated, conducting this symphony of destruction like a maestro before an orchestra. This is what separates Trump from every other politician. They play checkers. He plays three-dimensional chess on multiple boards simultaneously. While they planned their attack, he planned his counterattack. While they gathered opposition research, he gathered actual evidence. While they coordinated with media, he documented their coordination. While they prepared their assault, he prepared their destruction. Every move calculated months in advance. When did Trump know about Operation Checkmate? His team won't say, but evidence suggests he knew before they finalized the strategy. How? Intelligence networks that span decades of business and political relationships, loyalists embedded in unexpected places, people who owe him favors, people who respect strength, people who love watching the establishment squirm. He didn't just react to their attack, he anticipated it, shaped it, controlled it, let them believe they had the advantage, let them commit resources, let them coordinate across multiple organizations, let them create a conspiracy so vast that exposing it would damage dozens of careers simultaneously. The patience required, extraordinary. The discipline to not strike early, immense. The confidence to let them attack first, absolute. Lesser politicians would have panicked, released defensive statements, tried to get ahead of the story, pleaded their case to friendly media. Trump did the opposite. He stayed silent, let them build momentum, let their attack reach maximum velocity. Then he stepped aside and watched them crash into the wall he'd constructed behind him. The documents he revealed weren't gathered hastily. This was months of preparation, legal teams reviewing every transaction, intelligence professionals tracking every communication, digital forensics experts preserving every email, all done quietly, all done legally, all done with the patience of someone who knows the prey will walk into the trap eventually. And his timing, flawless. He didn't release the documents early in the morning, letting the news cycle dilute their impact. He didn't wait until late evening when viewership drops. He struck at maximum attention. Prime time East Coast, afternoon West Coast, peak social media engagement, maximum global audience. The press conference wasn't scheduled through normal channels. No advance notice to mainstream media. They found out when everyone else did. No opportunity to prepare counter-narratives. No time to coordinate damage control. Just raw, unfiltered, devastating exposure. This is mastery of modern political warfare. This is what 40 years of negotiating with world leaders, business titans, and media empires teaches you. This is what Queen's New York Street smarts combined with Wharton education produces. This is what happens when natural talent meets decades of experience meets absolute determination. Trump doesn't just win battles. He destroys the enemy's capacity to fight future wars. He doesn't just defend against attacks. He makes attacking him so costly that opponents think twice before trying again. Brilliant, masterful, absolutely dominant. But wait. Just when everyone thinks the devastation is complete, Trump reveals one more thing. Oh, and one more detail, he says, almost casually, like he nearly forgot the most important part. The room leans forward. The investigation into these illegal activities, It's already begun, and it's not being led by partisan bureaucrats in Washington. It's being handled by a special counsel appointed 6 weeks ago, someone beyond reproach, someone even the radical left respected until today. The name he drops sends shockwaves through political circles. A former federal prosecutor, decorated military veteran, previous service in both Republican and Democratic administrations, impeccable reputation, unquestionable integrity, someone who cannot be dismissed as a partisan hack. This person has been investigating the opposition's operation for 6 weeks, quietly, legally, thoroughly, subpoenas already issued, witnesses already interviewed, evidence already compiled, grand jury already impaneled. Trump didn't just expose the conspiracy. He ensured legal consequences are already in motion, unstoppable, irreversible, beyond political manipulation. The opposition thought they were launching their attack. They were actually creating evidence for their own prosecution. Every coordinated email, evidence, every financial transfer, evidence, every media collaboration, evidence, all documented, all preserved, all now in the hands of a special counsel they cannot attack without destroying their own credibility. But there's another twist. Some of the insiders providing evidence, they're still inside the opposition operation, still attending meetings, still receiving communications, still gathering more evidence. Trump's team flipped them weeks ago. Immunity deals already signed, cooperation agreements already filed. The opposition doesn't know who they can trust. Every meeting could be recorded. Every email could be forwarded. Every strategy could be leaked before implementation. Their entire operation is compromised from within, and they have no way to identify the sources. Paranoia will consume them. Trust will evaporate. The coalition will fracture. They'll spend more time suspecting each other than attacking Trump. Their own fear will do more damage than any external force. And Trump, he just smiles and watches them devour themselves. This isn't just a counterattack. It's not just exposure. It's complete and total psychological warfare. It's Sun Tzu. It's Machiavelli. It's the art of war applied to modern American politics with devastating precision. The opposition walked into this press conference thinking they were winning. They're walking out, if they have the courage to walk at all, facing career destruction, legal jeopardy, and complete political annihilation. One move, brilliantly masterful, absolutely crushing. Across America, MAGA Nation explodes with celebration. In living rooms from Florida to Alaska, supporters jump off couches, high fives, fist pumps, shouts of victory. They knew Trump wouldn't let them down. They knew he had a plan. They trusted, and their faith just got rewarded with the political equivalent of a championship knockout. Social media becomes a tidal wave of red hats and American flags. Video clips from the press conference get millions of views within an hour. Every devastating moment replayed. Every shocked opponent's face screenshot and memed. Every brilliant maneuver analyzed and celebrated. Trump rally footage floods timelines, massive crowds chanting, flags waving, that electric energy that terrifies the establishment and energizes the movement. New rally attendance records get set as supporters rush to register for upcoming events. Conservative influencers post reaction videos. View counts explode. Comment sections overflow with celebration. This is why we support him. 4D chess master, the best president ever. They never learn. Fundraising websites crash from overwhelming traffic. Small dollar donations pour in, $5, $10, $25. Millions of Americans sending what they can, not because Trump asked, because they want to contribute to this movement, this moment, this victory. Text messages between supporters, rapid fire across the country. Did you see it? I told you he had something planned. They walked right into it. Trump is a genius. Conservative talk radio goes into overdrive, every host covering the story, phone lines jammed with callers wanting to share their excitement. The energy bleeds through speakers. This isn't just news, it's validation, vindication, victory. Local Trump clubs organized spontaneous celebrations, American Legion halls, VFW posts, community centers, supporters gathering to watch replays together, to celebrate together, to bask in this shared triumph. Truck convoys spontaneously form, American flags and Trump flags streaming behind pickups on highways, horns honking, thumbs up exchanged with other drivers. That beautiful organic expression of patriotic support that no campaign can manufacture. Even moderate conservatives, the ones who stayed quiet during the attack, start speaking up, sharing articles defending Trump, acknowledging his political brilliance. The bandwagon fills quickly when winning is this obvious. International supporters join the celebration. From Brazil to India to Italy, populist movements that see Trump as their inspiration share the news. He's not just an American phenomenon. He's a global symbol of resistance against corrupt establishments. The energy is electric, unstoppable, growing exponentially. This is what the opposition fears most, not Trump the individual, Trump the movement, Trump the symbol, Trump the catalyst for millions of people who refuse to accept the manufactured narratives and controlled opposition of traditional politics. They tried to kill the movement. They just made it stronger. This victory, as spectacular as it is, represents just one battle in a much larger war. Trump knows it, his supporters know it, and now, after this devastating exposure, the opposition definitely knows it. The radical left won't surrender. They can't. Their entire power structure depends on defeating Trump and everything he represents. They'll regroup, develop new strategies, launch new attacks. They have no choice. But now they're wounded, exposed, vulnerable, their tactics revealed, their coordination documented, their credibility shattered, fighting from a position of weakness instead of strength. And Trump, he's just getting started. Insiders hint at more revelations coming, more documents waiting for the right moment, more investigations already underway, more opposition schemes already compromised. This press conference wasn't the end of anything. It's the beginning. Trump's 2024 campaign just received rocket fuel. Momentum is everything in politics, and right now, all momentum flows in one direction. Rallies will get bigger, fundraising will break records, poll numbers will surge, endorsements will follow. But beyond the immediate political impact, something bigger is happening. The American people are watching the establishment lose control of the narrative. They're seeing that coordinated media attacks can be exposed and defeated. They're learning that the experts and analysts don't have all the answers. They're recognizing that courage and strength can triumph over institutional corruption. This awakening terrifies the powers that be more than any single political victory. Trump isn't just running for president. He's leading a revolution against every corrupt system that's failed the American people for decades. The bureaucrats who serve themselves instead of citizens. The media that propagandizes instead of informs. The politicians who enrich themselves while communities crumble, the corporations that ship jobs overseas while lecturing about values, all of it exposed, all of it vulnerable, all of it facing accountability. What comes next will be even more dramatic. Trump promised to drain the swamp. He's been mapping its depths, identifying every creature, planning every strike. The opposition thinks they've seen his best moves. They haven't seen anything yet. Intelligence suggests multiple coordinated revelations planned, strategic timing, maximum impact, each one building on the last, each one exposing another layer of corruption, each one making the next election more clearly a choice between the establishment and the people. The opposition's nightmare scenario isn't Trump winning in 2024. It's Trump winning with such overwhelming support that he has an undeniable mandate to fundamentally reshape how Washington operates, not just changing policies, changing the entire corrupt system. That's what's at stake. That's what this battle represents. That's why this victory matters beyond the immediate headlines. Stay tuned, stay engaged, stay ready. The best is yet to come. Trump steps back from the podium. The documents remain on display, evidence for all to see, proof that cannot be denied. truth that cannot be spun away. He doesn't rush to exit, doesn't hurry like someone escaping. He takes his time, shakes hands with supporters, poses for photos, signs hats. That absolute confidence of someone who knows he just changed the entire political landscape. Camera flashes create a strobe effect. The moment crystallized in thousands of images that will circulate for months. The victor, the champion, the fighter who never stays down. As he walks toward the exit, supporters line both sides. Applause follows him like a wave. Grown men with tears in their eyes, women clutching Trump flags to their chests, veterans saluting, children waving miniature American flags. This is more than politics. This is something primal. The leader the people chose being validated despite every institutional force trying to destroy him. The outsider defeating the insiders. The fighter refusing to quit. Just before exiting, Trump turns back one final time, looks across the crowd, raises his fist in that iconic gesture. The roar that follows shakes the building. This image, Trump silhouetted against American flags, fist raised, crowd roaring, will become legendary. Then he's gone, out the door, into the Florida night, leaving behind a completely transformed political reality. In newsrooms, panic continues. In opposition offices, fear spreads. In living rooms across America, hope rekindled. In the hearts of supporters everywhere, absolute conviction they chose the right champion. The radical opposition thought they crafted the perfect strategy, spent millions, coordinated across dozens of organizations, planned for every contingency, and they got crushed. Completely, totally, masterfully. One brilliantly executed move destroyed 6 months of their planning. This is Donald J. Trump, builder, negotiator, president, fighter, winner. They've tried to stop him for 8 years of investigations, impeachments, media attacks, legal warfare, political persecution, corporate censorship. They've thrown everything at him. He's still standing, still fighting, still winning. November 2024 approaches. The opposition knows what's coming. They've seen this movie before. 2016 taught them Trump can win. 2020's controversies made them desperate. 2024 terrifies them because this time the movement is larger, smarter, more determined, and led by someone who's learned every lesson and mastered every battlefield. They wanted to destroy him. He destroyed their strategy instead with one move, one press conference, one devastating exposure of their corruption. This is what mastery looks like. This is what winning looks like. This is what happens when political genius meets absolute determination, meets perfect timing. Trump doesn't just defeat opponents. He makes their attacks boomerang with multiplied force. He doesn't just survive controversies. He emerges stronger. He doesn't just win elections. He creates movements that reshape American politics. The opposition will try again. They always do. They have no choice. Their survival depends on stopping him. But after today, after this masterful demonstration of political warfare, after watching their perfect strategy explode in their faces, they know the truth. They're not fighting a politician. They're fighting a force of nature, a movement, an awakening. Millions of Americans who will not be silenced, who will not surrender, who will not accept the corrupt status quo. And leading that movement, the man who just proved once again that no matter how clever they think they are, no matter how carefully they plan, no matter how much they coordinate, he's always 10 steps ahead. Trump wins, they lose. Story of the last 8 years, story of the next 8 years. Get used to it. Make America great again.